So the inevitable has happened. You have got an admit from a school. But now, because of COVID, you cannot travel. And you're thinking, should I go online? Should I defer my admission to next year? If yes, should I defer it to spring of 2021? Should I defer it to the fall of 2021? Will I get a visa if I have to travel soon? Let's answer all of those questions in today's video, guys. Hi, I'm Ashish Fernando, your global survival guide, and we are gonna today solve a few, if not all of your questions around deferring your international admission offers from universities. Right? Before I start, I would ask for you to like, share and subscribe the video as usual, right? Standard practice. So let's do that for those who haven't. I'm hoping to create a few more videos and I'm hoping to help as many students as possible. Okay, so it's difficult. Okay, let's start with that. I know it's difficult, but unlike a lot of people talking to you, I'm gonna say, do not worry. It might actually be a blessing in disguise, and I'll let out on the secret on why I think this whole situation can be a blessing for you, right? But first, let's talk about the different options you have in order to move on with your study life. So first, taking classes online. Now, a lot of you are in a very different time zone as compared to the institution that you've got an admit from, right? So most of you are probably who are watching have an admit from a US or a Canadian institution, and you are at least 7, 10, 12 hours in front of where your institution is. So if there's day here, it's night there. What do you do? That's a hard question, but there are a few things you can do, right? So, of course, number one is you can stay up late at night and attend all of those online classes. The benefits of doing that are that you're going to be in a live session, which means you're going to be interacting with your peers, you're going to be interacting with your professor. That's the pro. The con is obviously that you have to stay up at night and become a night owl. I don't prefer that, but I know a lot of people do. The second option you have is these online classes. Now, schools understand that their international students are in a different time zone. So a lot of the schools will record the online session and then they'll put it up for your viewing. You can view the session at your own pace, at your own time. The only drawback there is that you won't be part of the live session. You won't be able to interact with your professors. You won't be able to interact with the staff and the students, basically, right? But some trade-off has to be done. But the best thing is you can be sipping a cup of coffee, you can be in your pajamas, and you can be watching the recording. Nobody is really going to notice, right? But that's a good thing. So think of it that way. Now, the next option you have is deferring your admission. What does deferring mean? Deferring basically means that you have an admit, the university has accepted you as a potential student, but you tell the university or the college that you don't want to join in this semester or this term. You want to move your admit. You want to be considered as an admitted student to another term, either the spring, which is essentially January, February of the year in 2021, or the fall, which is essentially July, September of 2021. Now, which one do you take, right? Standard notion is that fall semesters are good. Why is that a standard notion? The only reason people think fall semesters are good are because they don't break your continuity. Right? So essentially, if you're graduating from 12th grade going into undergrad, or you're graduating from undergrad going to grad, you're essentially leaving your institution somewhere around March, April, May, gives you enough time to take a breather and start your next course of study in fall. But because of COVID, now you have that gap. So if you ask me, Ashish, is it good to go and start your education in the spring semester in January? I'll tell you why it's good, or in fact better, for a few reasons. The number one reason is that when you start your education in spring, there's also a chance you will finish in spring. But of course, you can move it and also finish in the same as the fall semester. Fall students would finish. So you have the benefit of doing both. Now, if you finish in January or February, somewhere in that time frame, remember that April 1st is when the US work visas can be applied for you, right? So a company applying for your work visa has to apply only on April 1st. The window is open for a few weeks, and then the whole quota is full, and then they stop. This is the problem that a lot of fall students face. But if you graduate in the spring, then you have those few months to apply for jobs, to get a job, get accepted, and get your documents ready, and then your company, your employer, can apply for your visa. It's an amazing benefit, guys. So a lot of people miss that. So for these reasons, the spring semester is actually a great option. Should I move to fall of next year? Sure, if you want to spend 1 year doing something else, why not? If you have a certificate program, or you're doing something else outside right now just to keep yourself going, or you're taking a gap year, in any of those cases, the fall semester is a totally fine semester to go. There's no dispute there. The main question is whether you want to go 6 months earlier. Yes, I think you should. That would be my answer. Now, spring semesters typically are low application volume and low traction kind of semesters, right? Now, spring semesters usually do not have so much of students coming in, and therefore the class sizes are small, and yeah, of course, those things happen. But now, because of COVID, hopefully, I think, and this is just personal opinion, I think the spring 2021 semester is going to have a lot of students. It's going to almost be like fall, and therefore I think it makes sense. Now, say you've decided that you want to go for the next fall term, or you want to go for the spring term, but the big question mark is, oh Ashish, what about the visa? Yes, great question. If you don't already have a visa for the US, you can sit there and hope. And I'm hoping that while I'm making this video and in the next few months, the COVID situation is going to subside and the US consulates are going to open. Now, what they're also thinking is for giving priority visas, which means that for students who are going to travel in spring, they're going to take your application up on priority once the consulates open, in which case you have the benefit, and I think you can totally take that chance. See, the thing is, if you go and show your intention to join the spring semester and you apply for your visa, and say there's this whole COVID situation and still, the consulates don't open and travels don't open, it's okay. What are you losing? You're not losing anything. The same visa appointment will be transferred, will be shifted a few months later. The same admission will be deferred from spring to fall. Why not take the chance, right? Okay, now I'm gonna, for people who listened all the way till now, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Here's why I think applying now for a deferred admission for next year is a good thing. There's very less competition, right? There's not a lot of students applying from your countries. So imagine if you were applying from India and there were 150,000 students competing against you. Now there's probably 30,000 students competing against you for an admit. So remember that if you want to apply for the spring 2021 semester, and most of those applications will now open, it's a great time to do so. I would say your competition is gonna be less. The second important thing is you can haggle for some more scholarships. So because the student volumes are less, there's that scholarship kitty where it's like, you know, thousands of piranhas going and trying to bite a piece off of the scholarship money. Now it's down to hundreds of piranhas. You're one of those piranhas. So your chance of getting a little more scholarship goes up, and the school is going to consider your need for a scholarship. Okay, these are all the benefits of deferring an admit, and so I think you should definitely take a stab at deferring an admit if that's what you're thinking. Now, what are the drawbacks? Are there any drawbacks of deferring an admit? Not so many, but here's the thing. If you go online, or even next year if you come here, the one drawback you're going to face is that you're not going to be able to meet a lot of employers face to face. You're not going to be able to network face to face, and that might become a problem, right? Because in the US, in Canada, a lot of the jobs don't come because of, you know, job interviews happening on campus at a campus placement session or something. A lot of those jobs come through because of networking, where you go and meet with the employers and face to face and have a coffee at Starbucks and tell them about your profile. A lot of that is not going to happen. And do I have a solution for that? Unfortunately, no, guys. But we're going to find a way out, because as students, we are resilient, right? We will never say no. We're going to get the admit of our dreams. We're going to get the institution of our dreams, and we're going to have a successful career no matter what. And with that positive thought, I'm going to end here. Please leave your comments down below the video, and I will make sure to look at them and reply to as many as I can. Also, let me know what more videos you'd like to see, watch, and hear from me. And I'm always open to feedback. Miss seeing a lot of you guys. I am remote here, and I'm sure a lot of you are remote at home. So stay safe and always be positive. Happy studying. And take care. Bye from Ashish Fernando, your global survival guide. Bye-bye.